welcome. I'm Super Fizz from the ETH Staker community. If you are watching right now, you're coming to the painting party. We are doing a warm up for the mainnet merge call. So continue to paint. I'm about to throw you the introduction for the main call. So don't panic. This is not the mainnet merge call. We're just getting warmed up. So hey everyone, welcome to the Ethereum mainnet merge call hosted by Bankless, the Ethereum cat herders, the Daily Gwei, and ETH Staker. We're really glad to have you here tonight. Our call is going to last probably about 2 hours as we spend an hour leading up to the merge and then an hour processing the merge afterwards. We're joined here today by Ethereum implementers and researchers and a lot of community-oriented guests. So we're really glad to have you. One thing I want to let you know before we get started is we are streaming from the Ethereum Foundation YouTube channel, but this is not an Ethereum Foundation production. What we did was look for a common ground where a lot of communities could come together in one place and share the merge with you. And the Ethereum Foundation channel seemed like the right place. So we are the community, and we're glad you're here with us. So David, you want to say hello?
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm actually looking at the chat and saying that the volume is basically at 0. We might need to fix that before we continue with the stream. Who's managing the stream infrastructure?
Michael, Anvetica.
You're working on it? Okay. All right. I'll tell chat to calm down.
Well, that's good. That's why we're doing a warm up. Great. Glad to have you, David and Anthony. Hello. Let's get going, guys. I'm Anthony. Pooja from the Ethereum cat herder. So glad to have you. And once again, I am Super Fizz from the ETH Staker community, and I'm so glad to have the ETH Staker crew here with us tonight. So welcome, everyone. Before we get going, we're going to check out a 2-minute video that we just thought was a really cool, futuristic imagination. A really cool. Somebody help me with a word. Take on the merge. A really cool imagining of the future of Ethereum. So sit back, buckle in, and let's get to it. I did something else. All right, yeah. So that's my intro. It's not going to be the same.
Volume seems better. There seems to be a lag in the video feed.
Cecil, I don't know if you saw me being you. I was pretty good at it.
Yeah, I saw that just before I joined. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, bud.
10 out of 10.
Okay, so damn it. Oh, see, I broke the rule.
No swearing on the stream. Is that a rule?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Just because we wanted to be as family friendly and like
sure
have it, But I wanted to record that and it auto transcribes so that I could have it as a
script
panic backup. Right. Yeah.
We're live.
Yeah, we're currently live, having some streaming infrastructure difficulties, but not too bad.
Well, this is warm up time, and some of the best part of this is this will show up on the original stream, but when it gets preserved on the YouTube channel, we'll edit out the first hour so that the call won't start until, for the public, for later viewers, until
right. Actual merge time.
Yeah.
We just cut out all the parts where things went poorly. It'll be great.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing with the merge, right?
The 9 hours after the pandas, will just cut that out. So
yeah, just the pandas.
Patricio's breaking a rule. Is it really? He's showing numbers. I'm going to get to my painting canvas.
What are you painting today, Fizz?
I'm just really just throwing my name down.
Hey, so this is live to the people that are also probably painting on this canvas?
That's the idea, that people who are watching the canvas are also,
Okay. So for anybody that is watching that isn't taking part in this canvas, you are definitely free to do so. All you need to do is get one of the mini entry POAPs. And if you don't have one, there's also a party entry POAP. And I guess maybe I could mention someone's Twitter. We all shared this same sort of invitation. There is a link there, so you can go grab that POAP if you need it. It requires a 0.001 ETH donation to, what is it again? Stateful
Works.
Stateful
Yes.
Works, yeah, which are some of the people that help make Ethereum what it is. So it's definitely going to a good cause. Also, if you have friends that have entry POAPs, they can also just delegate them to you as well. So they can give you a pixel placing power. And a neat feature of this canvas, just two things I really want to mention. You can choose colors in the palette on the right, but sorry, I forgot. First, you need to sign in with your wallet that contains any of the entry POAPs. And then there's a palette on the bottom right where you can choose something like 256 colors. And also a neat thing, like neat feature that helps you collaborate with people is you can quickly see what color they're using by right clicking it and copying their color. So yeah, that's about it. It's pretty simple. If you want to do some last minute coordination with the community, there's also a Discord link in a tweet that I can only mention because I don't know where I can share it.
what are you being hokey about? I missed that.
There is the tweet that we all shared that's like the invitation to this canvas.
Yeah.
I don't know where I can share that in this stream or if I even can. Maybe I can put it in the YouTube comments. Second.
Okay, I'm fighting someone to highlight my own logo. I'm like, work with me.
There you go. And it's gone.
My half-second cooldown is being a little naughty.
Is it taking more than a half second?
It's not always recovering quickly. I'm gonna refresh.
Taking the torch for the Ethereum symbol.
Does anybody
Create
else
the
having
outline and they will come.
problems? Anybody else having problems with the canvas?
Yes, I think
I
it
am having
is
a
being
little
hugged right now.
I know you guys
Man.
are really busy with the painting party, but could someone check how the hash rate is doing? We don't want to miss the event.
There's a hash rate.
Still on a downward slope. Dale reports 2 hours and 8 minutes before TTD.
2 hours and 8 minutes.
6:06 UTC. So that's 8:06 a.m. for the folks in Berlin.
Can we identify one person who is not otherwise engaged in the canvas or whatever to monitor that TTD closely?
Hey Fizz, I've got an eye on it. Right
Okay.
now it's estimating 2 hours and 7 minutes.
Dude,
Colfax, am I fighting you on the Get POAP logo? I'm trying to make it even.
Boodle, what are you doing?
Maybe I'm still trying to figure out my pixels over here.
What is Boodle even doing? Oh, we're on live stream. You can hear me. That's boy might be able to hear me. Somebody message Boodle and tell him he's got to move.
Is he right under the E?
Well, it says gradually and the Boodle. Like it looks like it's all one.
Online
Hey,
now
we're
for
back
the
on.
POAP.art is violently switching between like 50 and 600.
What is
Isn't Boodle somewhere in the Arctic right now? I think he gets a pass on anything he wants to do.
Unless it's like covering up the ETH logo. Some things are sacred.
So who's starting on Weasel Barrels?
You're glitching out, Thorsten. That
Yeah,
Git
my
POAP logo
finger
looks great.
ain't the best.
Tally Ho is obviously using a script, but it looks legit.
I was saying we need Vitalik Sombrero in here somewhere.
Ah,
Ooh, that
Textures
rocket pool
representing-
logo is looking real nice.
it's a little small.
There's two of them.
Oh, I didn't see. Yeah, now there's another one. Do you know what's better than 2 rocket pool logos?
I guess.
3? I don't know.
I was promised a Bankless logo, and I haven't seen it yet.
Sir, do you have
Yeah,
a
somebody
community?
somebody probably told you that, didn't they?
Cooper, what happened to not shilling projects? You shilling?
It's pre-call.
Okay. Good excuse.
I did probably break that rule first. Yeah, but during the mainnet call, let's be careful not to promote third-party projects.
Oh, no, like, is Rocket Pool, yeah, Rocket Pool's a third-party project? That's
Rocket
even off the
Pool
limits?
is- Can't mention Rocket Pool. Can't
No,
mention
no
Bankless, can't
other
mention
brands whatsoever.
It's not-
Nothing but Ethereum.
It's
just
not about
Ethereum,
being
that's
negative. Yeah, it is about
Being pure,
letting-
yeah,
yeah.
being neutral.
We're
yeah.
focused. We're focused on Ethereum.
And it's no big deal if you
Slips,
mention it.
right.
It's just I just want to
Let's remember why we're here, yeah.
exactly. Thank you.
Also, I mean, this is the merger, right? So the cut down thing will live on YouTube and probably be poured over by people for months to come. And then they'll look back at it years from now, like what happened at that time, and then from there, Ethereum went from strength to strength, or from there, that other chain was right. And, Ethereum failed. How did they feel then? It's all part of the record. So we want to focus on Ethereum.
Is the canvas frozen? I'm not seeing pixels hit.
Speaking
Yeah, I
of
can't
focusing
get
on
anything
Ethereum, can we mention press outlets, or would that be shilling the press outlet?
I don't have a strong intuition on that. I'm willing to defer to others.
Yeah, so basically there's a lovely quote from a podcast. I just don't know whether we want to name the actual podcast. And the quote was, if the merge works, crypto has a future. So that's the view from a finance-based outlet.
Yeah, well, I would
I
say
thought that was really interesting.
in
feel like
that
that
case,
quote
the
works
focus
either
is
way.
the protocol. Yeah, the focus there is the protocol. It's not naming a source to draw.
It's just a
attention to
question
something
of whether
else.
we should mention where that comes from. So since this isn't going to be in the record, this is from the Babbage podcast from The Economist. So the question is, do we mention as The Economist because they have a name, or do we leave that out and just use the quote?
What do you
I think if
Patricia?
you're going to quote the source, then it's important to credit them. But again, the focus is the protocol, so it should be fine. Right?
Okay.
I
Yeah,
do
we
agree
should
with that.
probably credit them. Yeah, I like that quote. I thought that was their Silicon Valley tech correspondent who basically, isn't that deep in the blockchain stuff, but has a view into it. And his take was, if the merge works, crypto has a future. So that was a really, really strong statement.
What are you laughing about, Nix? Don't hold back.
The canvas is so frustrating. I'm trying to make the Git POAP logo symmetrical, and someone is fighting me, and I'm trying to help. I don't know if it's Colfax. It might be Colfax.
This is when
It's
you go
not
on the
me
live
anymore. It must be
stream and
someone
you
else.
You say, hey, if you have extra resources, please help Nix with the Git POAP label.
Hey,
logo,
help me make the
label.
Git POAP ribbons symmetrical.
The panda has to happen, or else I'll get my legs broken. So actually, if you have any free resources, get the panda drawn.
Okay, I might
Panda,
just need to
Panda
do
could use
panda.
some help, yeah. Have we fixed the stream yet? Or do we still need help on that? I can't. Well, I can't tell because we're now kind of zoomed out. But like the audio was quiet, and also the video feed was laggy. Audio's fixed. Bandwidth. Okay. All right. Cool.
Where's the bandwidth limitation there? If I'm the host, am I streaming to? Is it coming from my feed or is it coming from is it going to Canada and then going to YouTube?
No, whoever's streaming is collecting all of our data from Zoom and then relaying it to YouTube.
Okay, so then
It's just that one
their
person's
bandwidth issue.
if their bandwidth, yeah.
Damn, we should have done it probably from mine. I have a ton of bandwidth.
Sick.
Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna turn on recording now.
Recording in progress.
Everyone's going to need to accept that, but it will give us kind of this spare copy. And I do believe that should be enabled for everyone who wants to record. I can't confirm that, but if you'd like to record locally, I'll try and help you figure it out from whatever I can control.
Sam, do you think this is a good time for showing the internal magic dispenser ones?
Yeah, I think we could do that, except we're broadcasting live on YouTube right now, so we would have to
Also,
be careful.
We were down then.
So I am giving co-host permissions to a lot of people who are hosting. The request there is if an unwelcome person does somehow get in, if you're a co-host, you have the ability to mute or boot them. It's better to mute and boot proactively and ask questions later.
Oh, sorry, Superfizz. I was just practicing there.
This is like us between a waiting for epoch. This is what it sounds
It's just like the calm before the storm.
Yeah, it's like we've had the merge and we're all waiting for the first epoch to finalize, and we're all just like dead quiet.
It's been like my third or fourth live stream today. It's just like each one is like progressively closer and closer, but like still nothing to talk about. It's like the same subjects going in circles again.
David, I heard you ambush someone on your live stream today.
Yeah. I don't know if I call an ambush, but it was a little bit of a whoopsie. Yeah. It was hilarious.
Context. We gotta have context.
So we just wanted to do it on Bankless, like a casual stream, like every Bankless like live stream, every Bankless show, we have like an agenda, a prep, like we're gonna guide the conversation. We just wanted to do like something completely the opposite. So we just like threw out the Zoom to like 5, 6, 7, 8 people and just say, hey, show up. A casual, unscripted, no agenda hangout. And I think I said hangout instead of live stream. I should have added live stream. I sent that to Hal Press. And so like we have like so a few of us in the stream, Hudson.
Oh yeah, I was there.
Yeah, Hudson, Fizz. Yeah, right. Oh yeah, wait, what the fuck? Why am I expecting? Excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I know, right? It's gonna be hard.
But yeah, like
I was like, wait, this sounds like the call I was on.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and then Hal Press comes in and starts talking about this trade that he just made and how his like OTC desk like totally gypped him on give him a bad deal on his rate. And then he's like, yeah, okay, but like, I just won't talk about this on the show. And I'm like, dude, we are 600 people into the stream right now.
You rogue Kyle. It's funny, like I really wanted to invite him here, but as a trader, it's contrary to our like overall mission.
Yeah. Although you can
But
see him becoming like more and more just like the way that he tweets and talks, he's come a long-term believer.
Yeah,
I think.
I said that to him privately. We had a chat and I was like, you're an ethos leader. And he's like, no, I'm not. I'm a trader. And I'm like, you just don't know yet.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, no, I'm in that same camp. I'm in that same camp for sure.
okay, Nix is driving me crazy having an obvious party there and being like, suck it, you're not here. All I see is James Carnley hanging out. Like, how hilarious could that be? You got the lights. You have the Wi-Fi lights that Cecil uses.
James Carnley is not hanging out. He's sharply designing his
he's
visual
doing
Madison thing.
pixels. Yeah.
Yeah, he has that habit. You can see him closer now on Nick's cameras.
Is that Sam from POAP over there?
Yeah, it looks like it.
No, not to be confused with Sam from POAP. Oh, okay. I see Madison. That's going to be what James is working on, I'm sure. I'm guessing.
You were correct, Biz.
James is always representing Madison. There's Rocket Pool and I don't know what the other Rocket Pool one is. That's so I guess some people are getting pixels and some people are not. I am seeing a little pixel action.
Yeah, I think we were a little too successful at getting people interested about the canvas.
That's good. Do you know what the
it's
middle right above phone on is? Looks like it's being bot drawn.
Middle right above phone on.
So there's the logic bot, and then phone on,
above phone
and
on.
then
a lot of pixels bot drawn. Wasn't anybody that I coordinated or helped coordinate rather.
There needs to be more battle for the panda, and it looks like if that gray ETH logo is in the belly of the panda, that it's off to the left a bit.
I'm having a hard time getting pixels down, but yeah, I'm really trying to get the outline for the belly of the panda going right now.
I see Tornado Cash in the lower right quadrant.
I've got some tips to share about the POAP canvas if anybody's having trouble.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing from some folks is that if you're having trouble painting pixels, you may need to refresh. And right now there's so many people in there that it might be better to just stick on the tab with the canvas. If you switch to another tab, you may find yourself needing to refresh again.
Oh, wow.
That's a good point. I'm actually going to try this in a completely private tab with no data whatsoever. See if that helps.
I wonder if I got my 100 pixels.
Oh.
I got to tell you though, I do love this this warm up. Like, it is a great way to get people in and get comfortable with a call before it goes live. Like, by the time it's live, it's kind of old hat. It's not like a big deal anymore.
Biz, me and a few others are unable to turn cameras on. Is there a setting?
Nolan is running security. I don't know if he's working on something right now, so we'll check that in a minute. Are you getting that, Nolan? Have you changed anything?
What's that? What's going on?
Have you changed security settings regarding cameras?
Yeah, I made it so new people can't unmute themselves and they can't start whiteboard. And I don't think that they can screen share either. Only hosts.
Okay, will you, people are having trouble turning their cameras on.
Okay. Start video. There we go. Should be good now.
There you go. Thank you. Hello, Hudson.
Okay, yeah, I absolutely was just using the Wi-Fi, but via my phone.
Oh yeah, look, James here. Hello, James.
Chat. I just want to make sure I can say something. Okay, great. I just want to double check that. Also, as there are a lot of new people who've joined us, I want to repost the call guidelines. Not that I want to be annoying, but I do want to hold us to a high standard. Yeah, that's a great thing. Thank you so much, Sam. So for everyone who's watching, we are really just hanging out, enjoying the POAP art painting party. We are not live on the call. The call will start when we're an hour from TTD. So right now, really, we're just warming up and visiting this. While this is streaming live on the channel right now, this will not be a part of the long-term video. This will be trimmed out. So yeah, hang out, join us. I may run through my intro one more time just to make sure that we're all comfortable. For me, the hardest part of any call is the intro. Like once you get over that hump, then things kind of do their own, take care of themselves. Doesn't Sassel Oa dance? Isn't he on the hook for that?
Don't do this, Fizz. Don't.
What?
If ever, if ever there was a time.
Okay.
If ever there was a time to fulfill this promise.
Time out, time out. He asked not to be bugged, so we're gonna be good friends and kind and not bug him about it.
Yeah, I mean, there are some videos of me dancing at my fiance's 30th birthday. So maybe if you're nice to me, I'll post those on Twitter.
I figure you deserve to have as much fun as anyone without being a target of harassment. So.
Oh no, it's all good. It's all in good fun.
Oh, you're welcoming it.
Oh well, a little bit.
I'm just kidding. I'm teasing.
I'm just glad that this is happening like normal Australian time. Like I feel bad for everyone who is on like little sleep, but for me, it's 2:18 p.m. I only got up a few hours ago, so I have got all the energy in the world, but still, I'm not going to dance.
I'm at this moment, I'm not sure what time it is locally, but I don't want to know. It's not going to help me any.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I feel bad for the Europe people. Colfax, how you doing?
Hanging in there.
What
I was
time is it?
unable to fall asleep last night, so I was just too excited, so I just pulled it straight through. Now it's 6:19.
So Anthony,
Oh.
now we know which time zone the master node is in. Somewhere in Australia. That's why it's at a decent time there.
Yeah, exactly. If it was going to be anywhere, it'd be Australia, right? Can't be in New
Absolutely.
Zealand because that place doesn't exist, so we wouldn't be able to find it.
Well,
But
yeah, it's full of hobbits I hear and sheep.
yeah.
Australia is natural security too. You take 2 steps and something poisonous bites you, you know.
Exactly. So we got good natural security here.
Okay, I'm looking at this chat I hang out in, and I'm seeing these numbers, and I'm like, why is everybody posting these long string of numbers? And then I'm like, oh, it's DTD. Sorry, I was like, wait, is this some kind of cryptic, like, is there a new thing I don't know about?
Is it the TTD?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it's the TD.
right. It's not terminal yet. Yes, the total difficulty. Yes. Well,
But I was
well
like,
spotted there.
What is that? Why is everyone being so cryptic and posting these weird numbers?
Yeah, I don't know. All right, I need another coffee. I'll be back.
I think, oh, there's balloons. Joseph is showing us stuff right now.
Yeah, hey, I'm giving you guys a little tour here. Peter has just showed up, so he's here to save them.
Hello, Peter.
Merge. Say hi to Peter and Martin. Guest is in the house. We're live streaming, so he's famous. And we'll also get this set up so that on the call, you guys can have a, when we do the last hour, sort of a live look at all of the researchers. There is a little 360 kind of cam that, and I believe Proto Lambda may bring in another so that as the researchers are gathering, and of course the live stream itself, if you want some inception, is here too. There may be a balloon drop if all goes well. So yeah, hi.
Is he breaking up for everyone?
Yes, it looks like Wi-Fi coverage at the EF office
I just
slightly
hope,
better.
I hope the balloons aren't there in like 8 hours.
So bad Wi-Fi coverage at the EF office is tradition, and we're going to keep with that tradition even during the merge. Oh, each Staker Cabin has their own like cam now. That's neat. They're all waving now.
Why am I not there? Sam and I, you guys don't know this, Sam Coffee and I, Sam from POAP, the other Sam from POAP, or one of the Sams from POAPs, we have really bad FOMO for not joining this cabin, but we wanted to make sure that ETH Staker was somewhat decentralized for this event. And so we're at home, jealous.
So wait, are you the designated survivor of ETH Staker, Superfizz?
Who else?
Sam
Who else?
is the designated survivor.
This is just a really elaborate way for Superfizz to admit that he's agoraphobic and doesn't want to be with us.
I don't sleep as well away from home.
Fair.
So I want to update anybody who's joined in the past few minutes. This is not the mainnet merge call yet. This is the right place, but we are really just hanging out for a while, watching Buddha eat his lunch, and participating in the POAP art canvas. And that will last until about 1 hour before TTD. When we get to 1 hour before TTD, we're going to kind of start a blank slate. We're going to go off for a few minutes. We're going to regroup with this room. We're going to plan it. And then we're going to pop back in and I'm going to say, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Ethereum mainnet merge call, blah, blah, blah. And we'll go into the real call. But what we're doing right now is just enjoying the painting party. I encourage everyone to get 100 pixels down if you can, and they need to stay. I can't tell you why, because it would be non-germane, but it would be cool if you were able to do that. One of the best ways to do that is to contribute to the main theme, which you will see as a panda in the middle, because as a part of the canvas that we expect to remain, you're likely not to be wiped out there. And so, yeah, I don't really know. Sam, can you give me an idea how long it's going to be before we go live?
Yeah, it's looking like right now we probably have another 40 to 45 minutes before we
Great.
kick off. Maybe a little bit earlier than that. Doesn't have to be exact, but that's our rough target.
Great. Yeah. So we're just going to hang out and enjoy company and let people filter in. But that's why things seem so unstructured right now. Don't worry about it. James, Adrian, good to see you guys.
Yeah, hello. I couldn't resist joining. I was listening on the YouTube and I heard all the whinging about how late at night it was, and I just wanted to come on with my world's smallest violin.
We know that Australians paid off the miners. We're not. Don't think we don't know about that. You guys probably wrote a nice check to the miners.
I nearly spun up some of my own hash rate, but it's just landing beautifully. The only thing is, at the moment it's looking like it might be about 4:30 our time. If it pushes past 5, I'm gonna have to knock off for the day and do it tomorrow.
I've been sincerely tempted to fire up a GPU, but all of my cards are in machine. Like one of them is on my Zoom machine, and I'm like, I don't want to mine during the call. And then one is in my staking machine, and I'm like, I don't want to run staking. I don't want to run mining hardware on my staking machine. So I'm like, I'll just sit it out.
Are we conflicting with any important sports ball events?
Is the WNBA finals tonight again, or did that happen the other night? And even still, it's too late for it to still be going on. So no.
There you go. Okay, good.
I wanted to say, do you think anyone in this room would know? Oh, Hudson knows.
See?
Hi everyone. By the way, people posted about 30 minutes ago. He posted an artwork for the merge. So Adrian, is it off to the pub at 5 p.m.? Is that what happens over there?
I don't leave the house. I work from home. Been working from home 10 years. Kind of got to catch a bus to a pub. It's really not an Australian place right here. It's used to live in a town where there was about 20 people and 4 pubs. That was Australia. But I do have some homebrew chilling in the fridge. Looking forward to getting into that if it all goes smoothly.
So I was going to say the real merge isn't what we're going to be talking about with Ethereum. It's you and Anthony finding each other in Australia and giving a big hug and merging.
Yeah.
I had to go to Amsterdam to meet Anthony.
that might involve single prop planes.
Yeah, actually.
Somewhere in the outback.
Yeah.
Excited to see Jonathan here. Hello, Jonathan. I'm a big fan. Bought your album. I keep refreshing that metadata. It's good. Loving it.
Is that working? I'm so glad that functionality is working.
It takes a little bit of time, but it's definitely working. It's very cool. I really like it a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, really well done. I
feel awkward already owning so many of those NFTs. Like, I didn't plan it. I just wanted them.
Superbiz owns 4 of the 12 merge of the 1 of 1 merge songs.
So you must be doing quite well. It is.
Well, I did calculate my gains, and I think it's almost like 0.28. So, you know, I'm making it. I'm making it.
In years from now, that 0.28 is going to be something to talk about, maybe.
And sadly, the keys to that wallet will have been lost years before. Unless I used, I was going to say, I was going to make a joke and advertise for a social recovery wallet, and then I'm like, is that really good for me? It's interesting to watch Bordel how the merge line. I'm sorry, the difficulty line is diverging from the projection. Like, it's clear that miners are shutting down, or not. That's an exaggeration. It's clear that hash rate is decreasing.
We've done remarkably well, though.
Yeah. Hash rate stayed pretty high, much higher than I thought it would. Before we get into the mainstream, I want to give a quick shout out to my mom, because my mom has a family group chat where they sent a prayer request for the merge on my behalf. And that caused my uncle to call my mom and say, what is the merge? And for 45 minutes, my mom, who is just like a teacher or like a curriculum coordinator, explained proof of work, proof of stake, the merge. She was like, the one thing she messed up on, she was like, you know, I explained that there was like the normal Ethereum network and there was like Rinky Dink or something. I'm like, do you mean Rinkeby? And she's like, yeah, Rinkeby. And I explained that Rinkeby was a test network and that things are really, you know, nothing's going to go wrong with the merge because they've worked so hard on it. And I was like, that's great. Thank you. This is great.
Okay. In retrospect, Rinkadink would have been a fantastic name for Rinkeby.
Yes.
Hudson, that is the most wholesome and beautiful story I feel like I've ever heard. I love that story.
My mom has been a big Ethereum supporter since 2015 when I was getting into it. She was I would call her, you know, every few weeks or whatever and just talk to her about what I've been doing in it. And so she would follow it. And so shout out to Rhonda.
That's actually kind of a neat idea. And Pooja suggested it as well. Hudson, do you want to, you shared a personal anecdote. Do you want to pass to someone else? And while we're just kind of hanging out, we can, you know, we have about 30 minutes. Just give everyone a chance to share a personal anecdote.
Sure, that sounds like a great idea. Is there anyone that wants to go next? Just so I'm not putting someone on the spot.
I think I can go next. Like similar to Hudson's story, I have a story of my son, my own son. When I talked to him about that, we are going to join this merge call in the middle of the night. And by the time you guys will be asleep, I have to wake up and join the call. And he was asking me, is it the merge call? Like you guys are actually going to have merge? Like you guys have been talking for over 2 years and are you going to be having this upgrade now? And I was like, okay, if my son is asking me these questions, I wonder what other community members have been thinking about.
That's awesome.
I love it.
Who else?
I'll go next. This is from last year. I had started working on Ethereum full time. And my mom talked to me and she said, so you're doing blockchain stuff and that burns all this energy. Have you lost all your youthful idealism? Because as a young man, I kept talking about, you know, how important it is to Ethereum, et cetera. And I said to her, well, Ethereum is changing to use 99.5% less energy. And she's like, oh, okay, that's okay.
Who's next? All right, I'll call on someone then. Joseph, are you with us?
Was my connection better?
Yes, it's a bit better. Do you have a personal story you want to share at all? If not, that's okay.
Sure. You know, well, I spend a lot of time talking with press folks, and I came from the political space, and I'm on the left, or at least where the left was in the States, and you know, it's funny because a lot of the blockchain space gets associated with the Bitcoin world a while back, and you have to explain to people that it has its own political divide. You know, the anarchic libertarianism versus this, like, what can we do with the technology crowd that was liberal by definition. And you know, it also, yeah, I would say it confused a lot of folks, because, you know, here you are pushing for all kinds of you know, improvements to policies. Well, yeah, using a technology that people didn't understand can also be used for societal improvement. They see it instead as something that's maybe closer to being used for societal escapism. And this is kind of a moment where it's really been inspiring to see that people aren't just covering it, they get it. So it's beginning to break into the kind of everybody's lexicon as we like cross this threshold into legitimacy in Ethereum land, that it's not all that, it's not all speculation, it's not all, you know, kind of these more conservative ideals, and people are trying to do something here. It feels like a payoff of you know, everything that's been worked on for the last 8 years, like it's culminating in this thing where people get that yeah, it will matter and it will change things, and that kind of hits. So it feels like a personal thing. Also, I have this nice sticker meme. I don't know if you can see it. But,
Yeah.
says, proof of work miners. Yeah, I'm gonna head out. But cool. So I'll pass to did Colfax speak yet?
Not yet. Yeah, I was just thinking about a story of when I started really working in Ethereum full time about 2 years ago, right before the launch of the Beacon chain. I went to go visit my grandmother, and she was asking me what I was doing. I had recently quit my job, and I told her I was working, you know, generally in this community called Ethereum. And she asked me, she's like, "What's that?" And I was like, okay. And I sat down with her for 45 minutes and I sort of walked her through like what Ethereum is and what it could be used for and things, and use analogy like her local savings bank and things. And she really got it. And it was really cool. And ever since then, she'll always ask me, she sees Ethereum in the news all the time. She's like, she'll send me articles to be like, "Hey, Colfax, like I saw Ethereum in the news. Like, do you know about this? Like, I just wanted to let you know." And I'm like, this is amazing. I don't know. It's always heartwarming when I hear from her. And she always asks me like, "Hey, like, does this impact like what you're doing?" Like, and she just like really cares so much. And it's so cool to see her engage with it. She's 93 now. So yeah.
Wow.
Okay, watching now.
Yeah, she is not watching now. She's asleep. It's a little late for her on the East Coast, unfortunately.
Cool. Patricio, you're unmuted. What's your story?
My story is that I am dealing with some performance issues on the canvas, and I am here for getting my work done. So I'd rather pass my opportunity into, let me pick someone fun. I would like to have Jacob from East Global share his story. You are muted, Jacob. Could you please not embarrass me?
I can't even find them. Who?
Jacob from East
Oh,
Global.
there they are. There they are.
He seems to be swapping headphones.
Audio issues. Oh, absolutely putting Patricio to shame. You're one pick.
At least it's not Vitalik's microphone.
Definitely.
It's going to be Vitalik's microphone. Don't worry.
No microphone is better than Vitalik's microphone.
I get so much crap over whatever that merge call was, Girly, I guess, when like I was hosting and it was my role, or it wasn't Girly because I didn't host Girly, but would have been my role to like redirect and say, "Hey, your mic is bad," but it was worth it. I don't know.
All right, Jacob's rejoined.
The classic
unmute and Zoom crashes bug. Sorry, Patricia.
Now made me proud.
Yeah, well, I knew you would call on me too, so I really should have predicted that. Yeah, I was thinking about on personally about a year and a half ago or so. I'd been working in the Ethereum community for since around 2017, 2018, but also in the Web2 community, and had a really tough choice between kind of continuing on my work in Web2 and devoting full time to Web3. Ultimately, this year ended up committing full time to this community, and I guess a lot of the people on this call actually were kind of part of that decision for me. So it was really awesome to feel like this is a little bit of like a closure situation where I'm like on the merge call. So it's been an amazing year, and it's awesome to be part of this.
Funny thing, I think Jacob, out of the people in this call, is the one that has the most. You have met Patricia POAPs.
I probably do. I think I have almost one every month this year.
Yeah, I am slightly disappointed that you are not getting the September one, but I have some trickle of hope that somehow on the 15 days left, like you find out that you forgot something in Buenos Aires or whatever, and we get to meet and you get it.
I have that embarrassing experience where I don't know Jacob, but I was vetting him for an invitation, and I'm like, so what? I don't tell me about your how are you involved? And he's like, well, I work with ETH Global, and I've met Patricia. We're friends. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Here, there's your invitation. Have a nice day. Because I have to realize I know 1% of the people, and Patricio knows everyone in the ecosystem. So yeah, that's a good vouch.
Yeah, he's, I have the sign, the ETH Global sign. That's how you know I'm legit.
And now you need to pick who's first for sharing their story.
Maybe another person from ETH Global. I can see Kartik Kalwar here.
Yeah, why not? Kartik, you want to go? Oh, it's time to give a personal anecdote if you have those, Kartik.
Everybody, I just joined, and pardon my noisy background. I'm at the EF office in Berlin, and this was it's 6:30 a.m. and people are just super excited. So it's getting really fun. But I mean, I don't really. So I missed the first half in general. I just tuned in because it's getting set up. But a personal anecdote, I assume, about the community. If not, correct me. But it's been kind of an amazing past 5 years, especially with kind of global. We kind of got to see so much of the space evolve and change and just grow. It's to me a wonderful thing that not only are there people that have kind of come to the Web3 ecosystem and specifically the Ethereum ecosystem from a bunch of the events, but also that they kind of stick around, help and contribute and make this ecosystem even better. So to me, it's more about the meta observation of we never realized or predicted the impact any of these things would have. And just kind of seeing that perturb and just grow has been to me the most mind-blowing and incredible thing. Getting to see that every day, whether it's a person sharing their excitement about what they've done to somebody kind of sending an email to somebody saying, hey, I want to do this or I want to see more of this. That to me is the best part about this whole space.
Thank you, Kartik. Sorry for putting you on the spot. Just wanted to have everyone sharing some story if they have any. I can see some more devs join in. Anyone, if they would like to share anything from their work or maybe personal anecdotes.
I want to say how excited I am for personal reasons to get past the merge, because I've been pouring so much energy into promoting decentralization on the chain that I've really taken time away from my family. And so I was talking to my son today, he's 3, and I'm like, today's a really big work day for daddy. I'm going to be online all day. And I said, but we're going to merge. And after the merge is over, I'm going to have a lot of time to play. And so all day long, he's been saying, have you merged yet? is the merge done? And I'm like, well, it's gonna be a little bit later. And so, or it's gonna be late tonight. And so this evening after his bath, he's like, is the merge done? And I'm like, he's so excited about it. And I'm really looking forward to like getting past this big hump so that I can refocus my attention for a while on my family. And it's fun to be passionate about Ethereum, and I love this opportunity to express my passion. But I'm also looking forward to an opportunity to like realign my time toward my family for a while. So it's kind of neat.
That's really wholesome. We heard earlier about potential for social good in Ethereum. I'm curious what everybody's kind of like pet project is that they'd like to see if and when Ethereum can technically handle things that don't need, you know, dollars per TX. Like what's the non-functional thing you're excited about to see in the coming?
I'm working with a company who is going to do potentially some kind of whistleblowing platform, and completely built on Ethereum, including the reputation system and incentives. That's really exciting for me.
Like whistleblowing about corporate wrongdoing, that kind of stuff.
Pretty much any kind of like you can make sub communities within it, hopefully, depending on how scalable it's built. So it's kind of like a WikiLeaks, but for anything.
Cool. And minus the hanging out in the Ecuadorian embassy for 3 years.
Yes, yes.
I have good news. We are about to be joined by one of my favorite Ethereum people, Ben Etchington.
Hooray, Ben's awesome.
It takes a lot to get Ben out of bed this early.
And we got another of my friends, Guillaume Ballet from the guest team. Guillaume, say hi.
Hi, how is everyone doing today?
I'm nothing fancy.
Just a regular day, nothing to expect. Got regular coffee, woke up at a regular time, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
Just another day, man.
Why are you in a cave? Or is it just not daytime where you are? I don't know where you are right now.
Yeah, I'm at my place in Berlin.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the EF office, but wanted to drop by and say hi. Just thank the community for their support, because yeah, if it wasn't for stakers, and especially individual stakers, we would not be cryptocurrency. So yeah, very glad to have everybody participate. It's really about people. So and see, now I'm talking like a marketing guy. So that's how excited about the merge I am. And I froze. Did I not?
No, you were good. So in just a moment, let me zoom out again to the big picture one more time. This is the Ethereum mainnet merge viewing call, but it's before the call. This is the painting party before the call. We do plan to start the formal call in about 20 minutes. Before we do that, so if you're painting, you can continue painting all the way through the formal call and until we finalize. So this is going to be a joke just to prepare you. So that means you'll have about 9 hours left in the painting party. End joke. Sorry. But seriously, so you'll be able to continue the painting party throughout the call. And in this room, we're gonna break off for a while, and we're going to have an internal, just kind of orientation planning prep meeting. And then when we come back, it will be 1 hour before mainnet merge, and we'll begin that comeback with an announcement of the call. Venica, is there going to be like a placeholder to let people who tune in know that we're coming soon, and that is that set up? Okay. Before we do that, I think it would be great to let's find someone here to generate a tweet that says, hey, we're starting this mainnet merge call in whatever number of minutes, and post that here in the chat, and then give everyone an opportunity to retweet it so we kind of amplify it. And I will, does anyone want to volunteer to be that person? It's a big responsibility.
I can retweet from the foundation account, but somebody else should tweet it.
I can tweet it.
Perfect. Hudson, you're a great representative. And then we'll retweet from everywhere. If you will tweet that and then we'll put it in the chat, we'll all retweet it. And then, like I said, this group of 30 people, we're going to just disappear from the merge view. I'm sorry, from the painting party view, as we kind of talk and organize to get ready for the merge call.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to do the ETH Global. I'm going to quote or like link the ETH Global link to this because there's like a chat room and other cool stuff in there. Is that okay?
Yeah. I don't that's anything is great, and that is good. I think the quality of the ETH Global chat is likely to be superior to that of YouTube.
So I just say
And
merge calls.
the lo-fi beats. I got to tell you, Karthik, when I get stressed, I go find those lo-fi beats, and I'm like, well, it's that or Taylor Swift. If I get really stressed, I pull out my Pixel Buds, stick them in my ear, put on some Taylor Swift, and chill. That was over self-disclosure.
We got some angry messages when that channel got taken down like a while ago. So you're not the only one. There's hundreds of people that just watch the live streams just to play the radio. So
yeah,
it's gonna be fun. Hudson, whenever you're done with the tweet, let me know. We'll also announce that on the live stream so everybody on the chat can see this, and we'll make sure that we message it.
Will be another minute or less than that, and I'll have it done. Let's see. Oh, this is ETH Staker, Bankless, Ethereum Cat Herders, and Daily Gwei, right?
Daily Gwei, that's right.
Yeah, you can take it from the bio on the YouTube video.
Ah, okay. I think I already just typed it all out anyway. So merge call starts in, I'm gonna here. This is what I typed. Someone just proofread it. It's just a sentence. Where is boom? Is this one good?
You can take off the 8 minutes. I think you just make it like the official invitation to join, because when the tweet gets older, people should still.
So merge call starts now. Got it.
Peter says hi, and Peter will be on the merge call, and
maybe starting in moments, starting in a few moments.
Yep.
Originally we had.
That's funny.
Originally we had call an hour before merge. Do we really want to do 2 hours before merge now?
Oh, that's right. There's some discrepancy about when TTD is actually going to hit.
640 UTC is the current prediction by Bordell with current hash rate, which is probably going to shift a little further back still as hash rate drops.
All right, tweet posted the link.
And so just for the record, we still have time. There's some discrepancy about when TTD is actually going to happen, whether it's going to be 1 hour from now or 2 hours from now. Let me retweet that and then we can discuss. Because kind of what I'm feeling like is when we go dark for a while to organize, we're not going to come back until we start the mainnet merge call. And if that's like an hour, then it's probably longer than we wanted to be offline.
Yeah, we don't have enough content or feel so much time.
Which we could definitely stall, but yeah, it needs to be a kind of a compact, not totally compact, but a concise call.
Jonathan Mann can just
fill it with a song.
Yeah.
I stand at the ready if needed.
I don't know that we need you to sing for an hour and a half. That's brutal. I mean, you do a whole
we should all take
concert.
turns, obviously.
I honestly think that even if it, even if it is 2 hours, once you're through the agenda, that the view count is going to be a lot of fun. and that just in general, running through a lot of these explainers again, that time will be eaten up pretty quick. It should be fun. I think we're all gonna have a blast.
Just keep singing until we finalize. It'll be good.
That didn't work.
I don't think we're live, Nix, or if the stream is live, I think we're muted on Medica, right? Oh, I can't hear you on Medica. You're muted. Okay, cool.
And that's intentional. We want it to be a warming for everyone. Sam, we have this discrepancy about when we're actually going to hit TTD. Thorsten sees it 2 hours out. Sam sees it 1 hour out.
I'm not sure where that 1 hour out is coming from. If you look at current hash rate, right? Don't look at the smoothed prediction over the past few days. That's useless. If you look at current hash rate, we're looking at 640 UTC.
Yeah, that makes fair sense that we're so close that we're not really interested in.
We're not really interested in the average because we're so close, right? We're like hours away from it. So we want to look at it at current hash rate. How long would it take? And at current hash rate, we're hitting it at 640.
Okay.
Now currently hash rate is 766. I need that to kind of go down to 667 just for the meme.
Before we go live, I have a question for Ben, Ben the British. I think I heard your wife is an avid node runner and validator. Which clients is she using?
This is a question for me, Patricio. Sorry, I was changing my speakers. Well, yes, as far as the tax authorities are concerned, she's a very keen staker. And you can probably infer which clients she favors, yes.
For consensus, sure. Execution, I wonder.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Superfizz from the ETH Staker community, and I have been waiting for a couple years to see you all on this call. So it's so great to be here with everyone. This is the Ethereum mainnet merge viewing call. We're looking forward to the Ethereum mainnet merge. That is the transition from proof of work to proof of stake to occur in about an hour. And in that hour, we kind of want to celebrate, educate, and just share this experience with you. Tonight's call is going to be hosted by Bankless, the Daily Gwei, Ethereum Cat Herders, and ETHStaker, the organization I work with. We're also joined by client implementation teams, researchers, and a lot of other community contributors. And I'm so glad to see such a wide range of folks here tonight. It's important to let you know before we start, this call is being hosted on the Ethereum Foundation channel. And the Ethereum Foundation is kind of an official organization that supports Ethereum development. But in fact, this call is being run by the community. The four organizations that I mentioned, Bankless, Daily Gwei, Ethereum Cat Herders, and ETHStakers, we're all community organized, but we wanted to find kind of a common middle ground where we could come together and not like split up into our own calls. We wanted to come together, bring everyone in the community together into one place and really merge together. And so we borrowed the Ethereum Foundation channel. There are lots of folks here from the Ethereum Foundation joining us, but I want to point out this is first and foremost a community call, a celebration, and to that extent, what you hear tonight should not necessarily be regarded as official. This is primarily a celebration of the merge, not necessarily a technical overview of the merge. The most important thing to remember, we don't know what's going to happen in an hour after we see pandas and after we wait for finalization. If you're a journalist, if you're someone who's going to be reporting on Twitter about what's happening tonight, I urge you to not regard this as canon, because what's very likely to happen are sources that we're looking at, websites that we're looking at, information that we're looking at could very easily go down or be wrong. And the best practice is to wait until you hear official notice, even official notice from well-regarded tweeters like Vitalik Buterin or Danny Ryan or Tim Bako. Those sources of information are great final sources of information. And this call really should be regarded as a celebration and information, not a source of canon about how the merge went. And I'm just saying that in advance because I don't know any more than you do what's going to happen in an hour. And the last thing I want is to have a misunderstanding based on our celebration. So I'm joined by I'm Superfizz from ETHStaker. I'm joined by David Hoffman from Bankless. David, how are you?
Absolutely fantastic, Fizz. How are you doing?
I'm good. Anthony Sassano from the Daily Gwei.
Hey, happy to be here. Very excited. I am the happiest I've been in a very long time. So I hope everyone else shares my excitement today.
And Pooja Ranjan from Ethereum Cat Herders.
Hey everyone, I'm very excited and very happy to be here with and co-hosting this countdown with the absolutely wonderful host and amazing people from the community.
Yeah, this is going to be great. David, what are you looking forward to tonight?
The pandas, of course. This has been a long time coming. It was a long and winding road. The fact that we are actually here today is a little bit surreal, I think, for everyone here on this call. It's both long awaited and actually kind of unreal that it's actually happening. But of course, I think we're all here to see some pandas show up on the screen. A little bit of chaos after that, and then some clarity after that. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, and Anthony, you kind of lucked out with the timing on this. How are you feeling about that?
Oh, it's amazing. It means I have all the energy in the world to celebrate the merge when it happens. It's what, 3:52 p.m. right now. It's perfect, just perfect. This is like peak time for me to be excited about the merge. So, I mean, you could probably tell in my voice, I am just raring to go.
Yeah, the Americans tend to get favor over Australians very often. So I guess I'm supposed to say I'm happy for you. I don't. Is that what I'm supposed to say?
It's you don't have to be happy for me if you don't want to be. I understand what it's like to have things happen in a really bad time zone or weird time zone. So yeah.
Pooja,
Right, 1:52 a.m.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
You've got me whooped. So Pooja, are you excited? How long have you been up? What's your status right now?
Right. I mean, I made sure that all my kids and my family are asleep, and then I try to wake up for this call. It is really exciting. We have been waiting for this day for a very long time. And when the time comes, it's all by, I don't know, it's a curse or what it is. Like most of the calls of Ethereum are generally at the very best time. But when the most important call is there, it is in the middle of the night. But yeah, I'm hanging around.
Yeah. I loved, a week ago, it looked like this was going to be 7 p.m. for me. And I was kind of on cloud 9 and, well, things didn't turn out that way, but I'm really excited that everyone showed up tonight. And I'm glad that everyone watching on YouTube, on ETH Global, or wherever you're consuming this, really glad to see everyone with us tonight. Before we go too much further, we have a 2-minute video we'd like to share with everyone. And so the idea is we'll share this video, and then after that, we'll talk about the agenda for the show. But so it's a 2-minute video that kind of gives a wildly futuristic, an exceptionally wild futuristic concept of what the future of Ethereum holds. And it's kind of fun, kind of futuristic. But Anvedika, if you can go ahead and fire that off, we will hang out and watch.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and transition over that video. Just real quick, those of you on the Zoom, I can't guarantee that you'll see and or hear it. So if you do want to consume it, just watch on the live stream with everyone else.
The era of mining Ethereum by brute force, trial and error is coming to a close. The difficult proof of work mining process is well known to be unsustainable. Proof of stake mechanisms have taken years of research and development. Mining could cause centralization, security risks, and further environmental harm. Onboarding ETH. Preparing blocks for transfer. Destination targeted. The beacon chain. Launch sequence initiated. Proof-of-stake mechanisms promise a brighter future, a greener, sustainable paradise, which provides the essential foundation for scalability, meeting humanity's needs in a network built on stability.
Right. I saw that video and I felt like that had to go out. Like it was just an incredible futuristic perspective. I don't know, I'm kind of blown away by it. Next, I'd like to introduce an ETH staker, Nick Zorakish. She began by providing community support in the ETH staker Reddit, and she's a perfect example of someone who just wanted to commit to the community. And because of that, we onboarded her to eStaker full-time. She's just an exceptional example of someone who made their way in by committing time to the success of Ethereum. And so I'm really glad to introduce Nick Zorakish to share the agenda for tonight.
Hi, everyone. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to have a few accessible talks. And the point of these talks are to be geared towards people who don't necessarily spend all of their time in the Ethereum ecosystem. So you're going to hear from Tim Bako, Vitalik, Pooja of Ethereum Cat Herders, Fizz, and in the middle of that, you will hear a song from Jonathan Mann. And then we will go to Danny Ryan, who will show us what we're looking for to see that the merge is successful, and he'll walk you through. Remy Roy of ETHStaker will walk us through sort of a technical overview of what's happening. And after that, we'll watch pandas. We'll watch pandas when Remy is talking. And then we'll wrap up the painting party. We'll see the canvas close. We will give you POAP details, so don't ask when POAP until the end. And then there will be a community Q&A, and you can find that Slido link in some of the more technical Discord. So if you're looking to answer a question or ask a question, go find that Slido link, and then we will close the call.
Awesome. Thanks for the agenda overview. So we recognize that many people who are watching know more about Ethereum than people in this room, and that's so exciting. But we also want to welcome people who have no idea what's going on. They've never heard of Ethereum. They found this video, and we want to spend this call kind of educating you about what Ethereum is and where it's headed. And so we've kind of tapped David Hoffman from Bankless. David, can you tell us what is the merge and how does it fit into the greater context?
Yeah, what is the merge? What are we all doing here watching this stream? The merge is a long time coming of the arrival of proof of stake to Ethereum. That's really what it is. It's Ethereum transitioning into proof of stake. And this has been a goal of Ethereum for years now, since Genesis. It has always been the goal for Ethereum to migrate eventually from proof of work to proof of stake. And the merge has been the mechanism of which we actually get that done. Why is it called the merge? That's because there's currently two blockchains running in parallel right now. The main proof of work Ethereum chain, the chain that we know is called Ethereum, the one that we know. And there's also this other chain called the Beacon chain. Now, the Beacon chain really just does one thing. It does one thing and one thing alone, which is be proof of stake. That's all it does. There's no transactions, there's no tokens. It just validates itself in a proof of stake fashion. And it's using Ether that's been deposited on the main Ethereum chain. And then this new Beacon chain listens to that main Ethereum chain for Ether deposits. And that is how Ether becomes heard and acknowledged and then answered and exists on the Beacon chain. The Beacon chain launched in December of 2020, and it's been a blockchain that's just been validating as a proof of stake blockchain ever since then. And now that it is stable and now that the developers feel secure, we are merging with that Beacon chain. And so as we approach what we are all talking about as seeing the pandas, what that's really meaning is that the current Ethereum chain is intersecting with the Beacon chain, and the proof of stake component of the Beacon chain is like bumping out the proof of work miners for the Ethereum, the main Ethereum consensus. And so this merge, what we are all here for today on this stream, is to watch the event where the Beacon chain, the proof of stake consensus of the Beacon chain becomes the actual consensus of the main Ethereum chain. and all of the various clients. There are many clients of Ethereum. There's different, instead of one canonical Ethereum, there's 5, 6, many different clients of Ethereum. And each one of these are syncing with each other and the beacon chain to all listen to the beacon chain all at the same time, all at the same, what is the TTD number, total terminal difficulty, a very large number. And once we hit that number, all of a sudden the main Ethereum chain will start to listen to the beacon chain instead of the miners. And in that moment, we will have merged with the beacon chain and become proof of stake. So Fizz, that is what the merge is. And that is why we are all here today on this live stream.
Thanks, David. I'm so excited. Can't wait. Anthony, I think you're up. Are we ready for our next segment?
I'm ready to go if the speaker that I'm introducing is ready.
They are.
Cool. Awesome. All right. So that was actually a really great overview, David. I want to commend you on that. That was great. So thanks for that. But yeah. So we are moving to proof of stake, as David just explained. But why are we doing this, right? It has been a long time coming. We have been talking about it for many, many different years. There are a bunch of different reasons why people are excited about it. But I think that a lot of people in the audience and just generally would love to know why we're doing this, you know, how we kind of like view this as a community, and who better to explain why Ethereum is switching to proof of stake than Vitalik himself. So Vitalik, feel free to take the stage.
Mic problems, I bet. Been there before, haven't we? You are muted, Vitalik.
It's not a merge launch call without this.
Yeah, this is just proving it's the real Vitalik.
This is proof of Ethereum.
Wait for the Rickroll, then we'll know.
Yeah, I believe there is technical difficulties. I'm working on it with him.
Okay, so we'll go to the next question.
Yeah, so Pooja, you're up.
Right. So the next segment that we are going to cover today is what is the merge and what effect it will have on end users. To provide an overview, let me invite our next guest, who doesn't need an introduction, definitely not for those people who have been following Ethereum since EIP 1559. Please welcome the vibrant facilitator of Ethereum All Core Dev Calls, Tim Bako.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay, sweet. Well, yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in and watching. So yeah, I'll talk quickly about what the merge does for end users and generally for Ethereum. And maybe a good way to start this is to focus on you know, the average user of Ethereum who just wants to transact on chain. And we actually worked quite hard so that for all those users, the merge does basically nothing in terms of their experience. So if they send a transaction, like if you're sending a transaction in an hour, whether it lands on the last proof of work block or the first proof of stake block, it doesn't affect your transaction. You don't need to do anything. It'll just keep working. And that was like a really important design goal, so that all the users of Ethereum, all the infrastructure, all the smart contracts just keep working as expected. So I see in the chat that I've stolen someone's mic. Hopefully it's good. Thanks, Light Client. Yeah, shout out to Light Client. Yeah, so for users of Ethereum, really, the goal was like an extremely smooth transition. But then, you know, why do the merge at all? What do we get at the network level? And Danny, who's here, likes to say there's like 3 things: sustainability, scalability, and security. And sustainability is the one that gets talked about the most these days. And it's quite obvious, you know, proof of work uses physical resources to secure the network. These have a very high energy cost. This is what kind of goes in as security for Ethereum. Moving to proof of stake allows us to kind of get rid of that entire energy expenditure that we use to secure the chain. And you know, there's different estimates for this. Some people say like 99.9%, 99.95. But I think that the way to look at it is it's almost a bit more like qualitative. Like on proof of work, we have to keep growing the amount of hardware, of electricity that we use to secure Ethereum if we want the chain to kind of grow and scale in size. On proof of stake, we don't need to do that. Like there's no, not only do we like stop the use we have today, but there's no more growth rate. And we benefit from any optimization in computing. So that's the first big one. The second one around security, we could go on for a long time for this, but I think an easy way to think about it for people who might not be super familiar with like all the details is proof of work basically gives you like a carrot to motivate people, right? Like you give them coins if they do the right thing on the network, and if they don't do the right thing, they don't get coins. And you hope that this is a strong enough motivation for people to do the right thing. On proof of stake, we can keep doing that. We can also introduce some conditions where if validators do something wrong, we can add some small penalties or some larger ones in case of graver things. So from a security perspective, it kind of helps us bound the actions of the actors who like create the consensus on the network. And that just helps us like fine tune kind of the security of the network some more. And then the last bit around kind of scalability, the merge itself doesn't scale Ethereum. This is like a big misconception. But it does kind of lay the infrastructure that we can use to then scale Ethereum in the future. So like the way we think about scaling Ethereum is using all these layer 2 solutions that exist today. They need to publish a lot of data to the network, and that's relatively expensive to do today. So we hope in the future to add kind of different layers to Ethereum, kind of a data layer where people can post data there for layer 2s. And having these validators already kind of validating information about blocks allows us to eventually kind of add to their duties validating this data. So yeah, that's pretty much it at a high level. For users, smart contracts, everything should be smooth. For the network itself, we get much better sustainability, better security, and it kind of lays the groundwork for all of the scalability work. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Tim. That was quite nice overview. So I guess the microphone issue has been resolved.
Yeah, Vitalik, are you good to go?
Yeah, I finally have unmute permissions, and I used them, so amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, great. So why proof of stake, right? I think so. Proof of stake has obviously been a dream for the Ethereum ecosystem since pretty much the beginning, right? So we started the proof of stake research with that blog post on Slasher back in January 2014, and then kept going through proof of stake algorithms of different kinds. Eventually figured out the nuances around weak subjectivity, and then started researching this like BFT style of consensus. And over the next couple of years, eventually came to having things like Casper FFG and all of the various ideas around CBC. And the current plan like started to solidify sometime around 2018, and finally here we are. So the motivations that we had for proof of stake, I think there's a few of them. I mean, one is, and the big one obviously is just proof of work is very expensive, right? Like proof of work basically involves the people maintaining the consensus of the network, proving that they have more resources than an attacker can have by like basically those resources being these big specialized computing boxes that they then keep running 24/7 and doing verifiable calculations with them 24/7 just to keep proving to the network that those computers exist. And like you can see how that architecture is sort of credibly neutral and permissionless and all of those things, but at the same time it's like basically the most expensive possible way to do the thing that it's trying to do. And proof of stake, sometimes I use the metaphor of virtual mining, where basically it's like instead of having a miner in the real world consuming real electricity, it's almost like when you deposit, the Ethereum network simulates a virtual miner, and it's the same sort of process. You put in capital, and then that capital turns into some share of the network, and you get a right to participate in the network as a validator and get to produce some percentage of the blocks. But it all happens in a simulated way without requiring any actual resource expenditure. So it's both better for the environment as well as I guess like other non-environmental externalities, like how proof of work just has massively increased prices for GPUs and made a bunch of gamers angry, and proof of stake will do pretty much the exact opposite, and will probably even have a flood of cheap GPUs for some time. But also, it is cheaper for the Ethereum ecosystem itself, and that comes through in the form of not having to have 5 million coins every year of issuance, right? So proof of work, it requires about 5 million coins every year of issuance. With proof of stake, the issuance is somewhere between, like, I guess, technically 0 and 2 million coins, but in practice, it's I think at about 700,000 coins every year today. And so it's much less than 5 million. And even that is issuance that is accessible to you as an Ether holder if you decide to stake your ETH, right? So it all kind of stays within the ecosystem. So those are the efficiency benefits, right? So, good for the environment, kind of keeps resources inside of the ecosystem. It's also has a bunch of different side benefits, right? So censorship resistance is an important one, right? Like proof of work mining is something that takes up a huge amount of electricity. It's relatively easy to detect if people are determined on detecting it. But proof of stake, just need to be on a laptop somewhere, and it's as easy to hide as anything. It is more secure in a bunch of ways, right? So there's this concept of economic finality, where reverting even a single block takes a bunch of it requires a third of validators to get slashed once that block gets finalized. And even attacks that are not kind of 100% provable, so things like censorship attacks, there are a lot of those can be responded to by the community with a community organized soft fork, where one of the things that you can do with proof of stake is, like, you can basically have this a soft fork where only the people who participated in the attack would get kicked out of the validator set and lose part of their deposits, but everyone who did not participate in the attack would not. Whereas in proof of work, you can sort of, your only option is to change the proof of work algorithm, which just like punishes everyone, and it requires a hard fork, and it's much more intrusive and abusable in a bunch of ways. So, and then finally, proof of stake also lays the groundwork for scalability, because it gives us these validators with validator slots and makes it easy for us to add other tasks to them, which would include validating sharded data eventually. So I think, like, to summarize, one of the ways that I think about this in a more philosophical way is, like, proof of work is based on the laws of physics, and so you sort of have to work with the world as it is, right? You have to work with electricity as it is, hardware as it is, what computers are as it is. Whereas because proof of stake is virtualized in this way, it's basically letting us create a simulated universe that has its own laws of physics, and that just gives us as protocol developers a lot more freedom to optimize the system around actually having all of the different security properties that we want, right? And if we want the system to have a particular security guarantee, and then, like, often there is a way to modify the proof of stake mechanism to also achieve it. So it's just much more flexible, and it shows through in the efficiency and the security of the network.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that overview. As everyone can see, there are plenty of reasons to be excited about proof of stake. And how excited are you, Vitalik? I mean, you've got to be ecstatic at this point in time, right?
Yeah, no, I am absolutely excited to be exited from the proof of work era.
Yep. Awesome. Well, thank you for that. All right, passing it on to David now to introduce our next topic.
Yeah, coming up next, Jonathan Mann has sang a song every single day for over 5,000 days now. He's just recently passed 5,000. And of course, today is yet another day. So there's yet another song. John, can you explain the song that's coming up next for us?
Yeah, thanks, David. Thanks so much. I'm super honored to be here. Thank you all so much for having me. So as David mentioned, I write a song a day. And in that capacity, because I'm a total nerd, starting like last May, in May of 2021, I just started like writing songs documenting the transition that we are now that is now upon us. So the first one I did was about EIP 1559, and I've written songs about every single stage. And the song that we're about to hear now is the final song in this series because we're here now. And I got on a call with Tim Bako, and he sort of took me through he told me this, so there's the sort of story, the ebbs and flows of how we got here today. And that's what I tried to put into this song. I wanted to make like a little narrative about how it felt to be a dev working on this thing, and the highs and the lows, and you know, tuning out the noise and all that kind of stuff. So I'm super excited to share it with you. It's called Pandas Are Not Known for Running. And again, for the folks on Zoom, if you want to watch, you got to watch on the YouTube. Let's roll it. I'm super excited. Let's hear it. Here with you is called Pandas Are Not Known for Running. And again, for the folks on Zoom, if you want to watch, you got to watch on the YouTube. Let's roll it. I'm super excited. Let's hear it.
Big dreams we're building.
Here with you is called Pandas Are Not Known for Running. And again, for the folks on Zoom, if you want to watch, you can watch on YouTube.
Too many mistakes. Slowly we moved on. Down by the lake with the beacons and chains in old Canada, where all of this was born, oh Canada. Rustic cottages were our home and all. We took out the chain and we turned it. We took all the fees and we burned it. Hey, Booterin, I think we earned it. Oh, yeah. Panda Bear has been turned on, and she's singing the merge song. Carbon footprint is all gone. That's why we're singing the merge song. Cacophony of choices. We had to be ruthless. So deafening were the voices that said that the panda had no leg to stand on. We did our very best, and for a down in Greece, buried under stress, out on the beach and debating the pieces, and oh, we carried on. Though the road was long, we carried on. You know, those voices never stopped, and oh, they said it would never be coming, but they didn't see the debugging, and pandas are not known for running. Oh, yeah. Panda Bear has been turned on, and she's singing the merge song. Carbon footprint is all gone. That's why we're singing the merge song. Panda Bear has been turned on, and she's singing the merge song. The carbon footprint is all gone. That's why we're singing, 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 singing the merge song. Singing the merge song,
All right, great. I was just checking to see if Justin Drake is here. Justin, are you with us?
Isn't he in Boulder? No? Oh, someone mentioned that was a joke.
Okay. No sweat. We can pass over that for now and get back to Justin. And so, Anthony, I'm going to pass it to you, my friend.
Yep. So next thing that we want to discuss is client diversity. Now, this is something that many people may have heard of already. It basically describes the aspect that we have within Ethereum, where we have multiple clients that can be run on the network. There is a bunch of them on both the execution layer and consensus layer side. It is very important to network health, decentralization, and security. So we're going to have Pooja run us through, why a client diversity can be a problem in, when it's in its bad state, and how do we overcome that, and what a good state looks like. To you, Pooja.
Thank you, Anthony. Yes, client diversity is another important topic of consideration, along with the upgrade of the existing client nodes. I know we cannot just solve the issue in the next 5 minutes, but I would like to take a few minutes and maybe share my thoughts on the topic. I would quickly like to share a presentation and walk us through like how do we can overcome the problem of client diversity. As on the screen, you are seeing currently 2 charts, one for the execution clients and one for the consensus client. Red, yellow, green charts are generally self-explanatory, but here we see that red is mostly on the execution side. Let's see why is it. For proof of work, we were considering that the client adoption should not be over 50% to avoid the 51% attack and everything else. So Geth is certainly not in a very good position. And there's another major reason for that is like if there's anything goes wrong with Geth, a bigger section of the client may go down. But on the other side, if you can look into the consensus client chart, you see the prism, it's not over 50%, but still it is in yellow, not in green. That's because when we come up to the beacon chain or the consensus layer, the consensus is made over 2/3 of participation and 2/3 of voting. Here it is over 33%, and that's the reason why we have marked it as yellow, not in the green. Now that we are switching to proof of stake today, the requirement has changed. And we will be seeing like, why do we need client diversity? That is one of the biggest questions that may come to everyone's mind when we are looking into these charts. Probably we partially answered the most common question because we know there are major points of having a diversified distribution of client for obvious reason. Network security is one of the biggest reasons. And there are other advantages of having this diversity when we are testing any upgrade or testing any protocol to be launched on the mainnet. It helps in identifying consensus bug. With the proof of a stake, there are other incentives associated with staking and also helps with finality. Definitely having multiple client options for node running is a strength of community. While EL clients diversity looks worse on chart we just saw, and most of us may know that this has not been the case forever, but at time when parity and open Ethereum stopped there, like they were not continued anymore. There were only fewer client options available for mining. I consider that as one of the major reasons for having more clients over this side. However, there were more clients coming up, and the less availability of proper documentation of clients can be one of the reasons, which may not be true as of now. And we are hoping that things are not going to be the same. We will see a lot of changes coming up. So be ready for the changes with the merge upgrade. Did you know we have multiple options for you to run a client node? For execution layer, we are having 8 client nodes, which will be available post-merge for you to pick up to run an Ethereum node. And also on the consensus side, the number is no less. It is 6 clients available for you to pick up a node running option, or maybe become a validator for Ethereum blockchain. If you were not aware of any of the clients shared in the earlier slides, or you want to know more about that, or maybe about your favorite clients feature, what's coming up, check out the Know Your Client series that's on Ethereum Cat Herders YouTube. You probably have this question in the mind by now, like how, as an individual or an institution, you can make a difference. Well, if you are a solo staker or solo node runner, you would want to pick up a client that suits your hardware requirement, having an ELCL combination that you think will be easier for node running with minimal setup. However, we do have support from the client team available. And if you are a staking pool or representing a staking pool, you must consider running more than one client. If running only one client node, then it is highly recommended to have it not the major client, like the client which is having the largest network share. I have added a couple of charts here for people's reference. Like we can see when it comes to staking and when it comes to rewarding and punishment as well. Slashing can be painful and rewarding at the same time, depending upon which side of the node running you are. When you are running a majority client, and if slashing happens, the pain meter shows it's very high, pain meter is very high. But if you are running a minority client, definitely you are getting more reward. Similarly, the chart on the right side, it shows for some of the bigger pools and what combinations client distribution they are having. Well, this is amazing that we are moving towards merge, and client diversity is definitely crucial. Join us in building a resilient Ethereum network. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Pooja. That was great. I hope everyone got a lot out of that. Client diversity is definitely critical and important to Ethereum. Fizz, do we have Justin Drake?
We do.
Awesome.
Welcome, Justin.
Hi, everyone. Yes, I'm here.
So glad to have you. Oh, I was going to introduce you. So
go ahead.
Justin Drake is absolutely, he has become one of my favorite Ethereum researchers. If you've ever listened to him, he's on Bankless frequently, and he speaks so much truth. And so tonight we're going to have Justin talk to us about the energy efficiency or energy use reduction in the new Ethereum proof of stake network. So take it away, Justin.
Yeah, for sure. So, at a high level, we're going to be reducing the energy consumption of the whole world by roughly 0.2%. So Ethereum right now is consuming 0.2% of all the electricity that is produced. Bitcoin is on the order of 0.5%. And I can't think of a single technological innovation that reduces worldwide electricity consumption as much as the move to proof of stake does. And one of the really cool things about this electricity reduction is that the mainstream understands it's something that's so obviously good. There's so many advantages to the merge, but things like the security improvements, things like the monetary improvements are much, much, much harder to understand. So I think as a community, we shouldn't be shy, and we really should be proud of this achievement that we've unlocked. And as Tim Bako said, it's not just about the 0.2% of all the electricity of the world that we're consuming. It's also the fact that we can't scale as a network. We want to become the settlement layer for the internet of value. We need to grow to trillions of dollars to have very high economic security and economic bandwidth. And we can't go consuming 2%, 20%, 50% of all the world's electricity produced. Now, the other thing that I want to highlight in this discussion of electricity consumption is that it's only one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is the hardware, and this is always very much overlooked, especially from Bitcoiners who try and talk about, the energy consumption being largely stranded energy, green energy, which may or may not be true. But we know for sure that the ASICs, the hardware, is not green. It's usually hardware that depreciates fairly fast, that is single use in the case of Bitcoin, and that just ends up in a dump. And building ASICs is very resource intensive, especially the leading node ASICs like 3 nanometer or 5 nanometer that are used to build these pieces of hardware. It consumes lots of water, etc. Now, in the case of Ethereum, there's millions of GPUs specifically that are used to mine, somewhere between 2 and 20 million. Basically, it depends on what type of GPUs is being used to mine. But what we should expect to happen is these millions of GPUs to enter the market, and that to lead to a relief in the price of GPUs for gamers. So I guess it's good news all around, maybe except for the miners.
Wow, that is so great. Yeah, there are so many benefits that come from this shift to proof of stake to so many stakeholders. And I would like to say, no one's losing out, but, people who were GPU mining, this is hard for them. And I hope they choose to join us with proof of stake, but it's so beneficial to everyone else. Thanks, Justin, for sharing.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, the next topic, I think, is probably the most important one. The reason we're all in Ethereum, decentralization. It is critical to Ethereum. It is what we're all about. And who better to talk about it than someone that I really respect in the ecosystem, and that is all about decentralization, Super Fizz himself. So go ahead, Fizz, take the floor.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to talk about centralization, and I'm going to talk really fast because I think we have about 10 minutes before the merge itself, and hopefully everybody's getting really excited. We're looking forward to hearing from Danny as we go into the merge, but I want to talk about something that is so incredibly important to our entire network, and that is that we become and maintain our decentralization as a network. People have this idea that we need to stake more coins on the Ethereum proof of stake network. We don't actually need to stake more coins. That is not something that will inherently contribute to our success. But what will contribute to our success are people who stake in decentralized ways. And that is solo staking from home. That is identifying trustless open source decentralized staking pools and staking with those. There's this concept of minimal decentralization being enough for Ethereum to succeed, but it's not. We have to have credible decentralization. That means that we are so decentralized that nation states, that corporations trust our network enough to act on them. And if we rely on a few service providers to stake our coins for us, then we don't have a decentralized network. We have a tool that maybe people are trying to extract value from, but we don't have a valuable decentralized network, and that's what we need to build for. If you want to stake with Ethereum, I encourage you not to look for the cheapest way to stake. And the reason is the cheapest way that you stake may erode the value of the Ethereum network so that your coins are worth less in 10 years. But if you're staking in ways that bring value to the network, like staking from home, you're actually bringing more value to your own coins. And so I really believe that's a better investment for the long term. I would love for everyone to check out ethsunshine.com. It is a reflection of our current decentralization. And you're going to find there that it's not sunny. It's not perfect. We do have weaknesses. But as a community, Ethereum identifies, embraces, and improves our weaknesses. And that's why I'm here, because we know that we can improve and we can do better. And I really hope you'll join me in that pursuit. So yeah, that is decentralization. It's something that I'm never going to stop talking about, and I hope you'll join me in that struggle.
Yeah, it can be a struggle sometimes, right? To kind of, I guess, like explain the benefits of decentralization, why it's so important. But thank you, Fizz, for that. I know we don't have much time here, but we're going to pass it to David now to introduce the next topic.
Yeah, the next topic, it's actually getting down to the next topic is being the merge itself. We are about 8 minutes away. There are 33 blocks and counting. And so we're going to have to actually pass it to some of the experts in the room here because we're getting down to it. It's almost merge time. And for a lot of the people that don't know what's going on under the scene, once we merge, it's going to be kind of confusing as to what we need to look at. How are we going to vet this? What are we going to look at on the other side? So I'm going to pass it off to Danny Ryan to tell us what he is looking at and what other core devs are looking at to be informed as to what's the state of the merge is after we actually hit that block number, that TTD number. Danny, are you with us?
Yo.
What's up, Danny?
Do we have a screen share of some logs and stuff and some dashboards?
Yeah, is somebody able to share screen?
We thought you were going to express those to us verbally.
I am. I can do it all verbally. And
I know, right?
Okay. So I think we kind of got the gist. The proof of work chain exists. The beacon chain is watching and waiting for this terminal number, at which point the first block on the proof of work chain that it meets or exceeds this number, the validators say, okay, I'm ready. And they take over. And so at this point, they're all watching, they're all waiting. That is the point at which the first proof of stake merged block will be built. So that's kind of, I'm going to go through kind of the sequence of stuff that we hope to see, the sequence of stuff that might be some red flags. We might start digging and that kind of stuff. So we want to see that first block, that the terminal total difficulty hit, that first proof of stake block. Then that proof of stake mechanism not only builds blocks, but validators send attestations. So these little messages that they say, this is what I see. This is what I see. This is the head of the chain. This is my view of reality. And so right after we get that first block, we also start getting attestations. And so in each block, attestations from prior blocks and prior slots are included. So we hope to see over the course of the first epoch, which is 32 slots, which is about 6 minutes, we hope to see mini blocks. Optimally, we'll see 32. If we see 30 or more, then we're golden. If we see a bit of a precipitous drop, something like 25 in that range, we're going to say, okay, something's looking a little bit weird. We're going to be digging in. But that's going to be one of our first indicators, is that first epoch, do we have mini blocks and do we have similar percentage of attestations? So, if we're 90+% on the blocks and the attestations in that range, we're going to be very happy. There's also this thing, each block, the sync committee. This is also an indicator that similarly we want to see in that 90+% range. So after the merge block can happen anywhere inside of an epoch. So we want to see the finishing of that epoch and then the finishing of the next epoch. If we have over 2/3 of participation, we're going to call that justified, right? And so if we look at one of these panels, it says epoch, and we see how finalized happens and justified happens. That we see pretty much, you see an epoch is justified, then you see an epoch is finalized. So after that, like 6 to 9 minutes, we're going to see if we have 2/3 participation, we're going to see it justified. And then after the next epoch, we're going to see it finalized. So this process is going to take anywhere from 12 to 18 minutes, depending on where that terminal block lands. So let's see some of the other stuff that in these panels that we might be looking for. So on some of the dashboards, we're going to see participation. We're going to see kind of these slots continue to increase. We really want to see these epochs increase. That consensus mechanism is going to switch from proof of work to proof of stake, ideally. And then we also watch logs. So nodes, the implementation of the software, they spit out what they're seeing. They pretty much say like, hey, I got a new block. Hey, this, that, and it's not, it looks complicated. It looks a bit scary at first, but a lot of this is just human language. It says ready for the merge and then it says terminal total difficulty, that kind of stuff. So we're watching logs. And one of the exciting things is when we see that first block, pretty much, I think all the clients have a nice ASCII panda artwork displayed. So that'll be kind of our first exciting indication. We also watch block explorers. This is kind of a visual representation of the state of the logs of what's going on here. So this, this beacon chain block explorer, this is an open source explorer. This is really cool. We get to see live as blocks come in through this sequence. We also get a little bit of indication when we're watching the epochs justify. So you get this nice visual representation as well. So that's pretty much what I'm going to be watching for. Really, we want to see some of these really positive indicators, and then we want to see that finality. Once we see finalization, we can take a deep breath, breathe easy. Then we'll be monitoring, obviously for the next couple hours, for the next couple weeks, and honestly, we're monitoring all the time. So I think we're about 2 minutes till, so I will turn it back over to y'all.
Wow, 2 minutes till. That is, I have finally started to get the butterflies. That is pretty crazy. Okay. What do we need to be looking at on screen here, since we're about to like watch the moment? Are we just what happens next here? Are we waiting for the
We
pandas?
definitely want some panda logs.
We definitely
You just
pandas
got
are what's
butterflies?
next. I'm a
Just
stoic
now?
individual. All right, so this is it, huh? We're just waiting for the pandas to show up.
This is the moment of truth.
Come on now. Let's go. Let's
This
go.
was the,
Let's
this
go.
was the- hey, when we're planning the merge call, make sure we have something to say when we're waiting in these times.
I'm going to give a shout out to ETH Finance. I love you all. Big hugs from Kansas City. That's all I got to say right now. I'm going to go on mute. Love you all.
Glad to have you, Jeremiah. You're a good man.
Hey, Danny, when merge?
It's never gonna
Now
happen.
it's now.
It's literally right now.
7 quadrillion difficulty away.
The
now.
amount of times I've been asked this question, but it is finally now.
The new question is going to be, did it ever happen? Hey, I got pandas. POS activated.
Pandas.
Come on. Too. Come on now. Let's go.
Thank you,
Pandas.
Paul Honor.
Let's go.
Panda.
Panda.
Hey!
Okay.
Hey. And built on it. Building one chain.
So everyone, we knew this would happen. We knew that we would get this far. There's nothing contentious yet. The next 13 minutes are the nail biting times. So now it gets fun.
Come on now. All right. I'm eating black licorice for ETH Finance, and I'm going to drink some Lafroig scotch and a little bit of beet juice.
The merge is here. I've been waiting to say that for so long after saying the merge is coming for years. It's here. Oh my God.
Come on.
And,
I don't know.
and importantly,
Remember,
we're still building a single chain.
we
We've got
promised
about
not to
five
celebrate
merge
it
We
blocks.
are
until
we are not
finalize.
going to merge. We have merged.
Now let's finalize.
Okay,
Now-
so
now
I'm
let's
watching.
finalize.
I'm watching logs, and I've seen a block in every slot since the pandas, which is a very good sign. So we're like 6 slots in, and I think we're at 100% block rate. So that's implying that we have a very high percentage of validators online, connected, and running software that works.
We can also see transactions being included into the beacon chain right now.
Kind of want to go make a transaction just to make my.
That's what
my
I was about to
first
say.
proof
I
of
want to
stake
be an
transaction.
early transactor on the
Yeah.
on the mainnet. I'm gonna send.
Gas is
Wait.
100 Gwei right now.
Let me
Wow.
get an ENS here.
Wait, what's the gas? What's the gas price?
100.
So you're
100?
saying there is
100,
life on
yeah.
Mars. We got life on Mars. Life on Mars has been validated. Come on.
Benjamin,
Okay,
you're
we-
the first ENS I recognize. So because I'm
Wow.
so eager to be a part of this, I'm gonna send you a transaction.
100% of blocks so far. We have a block for
Okay,
every
the
slot.
other
We're
really
like
good
3
news-
slots in.
The other good news is we've included enough attestations to justify this epoch already. That's about on par with what we're
Very
doing
nice,
pre-merge.
very nice.
So this is looking like participation is actually
Come
holding
on.
up to about where it was. It's the next epoch that
Holy
really
shit.
counts, but this one's good.
Someone click on a block and look at the sync committee participation.
And we're all excited, but
just
this
used
isn't
to be
really a surprise.
Super
We had every expectation that this would unfold this way, but it's still very exciting to see it unfold in reality.
Let's go.
Let's go. That's
Is that
what I'm
97?
saying
I
right
can't see
now.
that.
I was told we can't do sound effects, so I'm not. So I'm going to just say, let's go.
So
Let's go. Everybody should unmute and at least start to clap, slow clap a little bit. You know, we don't have to go all in. We don't have to, we can just like enjoy the moment.
Hey, so for anybody who isn't aware of this yet, GPU miners on Ethereum are no longer active. If you're mining a GPU miner on the Ethereum proof of work network, nothing is happening. You cannot. Well, you can mine blocks, but they will not be on the Ethereum network.
Attention, GPU miners. You have a huge future in AI renderings.
Your watch has ended.
No, but thank you. I mean, I never
thank you.
want to. Let's appreciate all the GPU miners did for us. They really
Yes,
are our family.
absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of us all did that thing. I mean, we all did it.
And I mean, I eagerly welcome GPU miners to come to Proof of Stake. The network has done a lot for you. You're a part of us. Join us in Proof of Stake.
So we've seen all blocks so far. Every slot has had a block. So we want to see 7-6 justified.
What?
Yeah, but it happened part way through the epoch.
No, I'm just impressed that we have 0 misses. Like, we all kind of expected to have a few missed slots. We just kind of assumed it, and to have 0 missed slots is impressive.
It's almost
that
like
testing was worth
Vitalik's
it.
microphone worked the whole time. We just didn't know it yet.
I mean, is my microphone working this time?
Yes.
Yay!
Yeah.
Come on, man. Preach.
Another interesting note is that the supply has peaked at the merge. And if you go to ultrasound.money, you'll see that since the merge, we've gone down by 31 ETH so far.
We have
The
not
website
had
is
an inflationary block yet.
We may have had. I can have a look. No, it looks like every
not with
block.
100 gray. Not with
Yeah.
100 gray gas price.
The website is a little unstable because we have 10,000 current visitors roughly.
And I'm one of them.
Holy shit. I'm one of them too.
So if you're missing on the fun,
There's
that's ultrasound.money.
41,000 people watching this. Hello, 41,000 people.
People like merging.
So the slot visual on Beacon Chain is lagging. I'm still watching logs, and I think we're at 100% block rate for all of these slots. So
Sir,
again, some of the visualizers sometimes get out of whack, but the nodes are true.
That's one of the things that I mentioned in the beginning. We don't want you to take away what you see here and say, well, I see 3 missed blocks. That's not the interpretation. As Danny says, they have better logs than this visualizer, which is being hugged by a lot of people. So yeah.
How many minutes are left in this epoch?
Halfway through this epoch.
Okay. How many minutes are in an epoch again? It was something easy.
There's 32 slots in an epoch,
32
and
slots
but
in
we'll even know because of the high percentage. We'll probably know that justification is going to happen in 2/3 of the way into the epoch.
Gotcha.
I want to shout out to
Okay,
Bitfly.
slot 22 or 23.
Yeah, I really appreciate Bitfly for developing Beacon Chain. It's an awesome product. Don't refresh that because I did hit Cloudflare when I refreshed, so it's getting hugged. But we're there. Like, this is happening.
Yeah, there were like 4,000 people on the front page, and yeah.
Congratulations, Danny.
Yeah, congratulations, Danny, Tim, this is so awesome.
This is incredible.
Yeah.
Like,
Congratulations,
well
everybody.
over 100 people have been working
Everyone.
on this
Yeah.
for years.
And-
Congratulations.
Yes, everyone who has put so much time in it. All of the people in this call have poured their heart and soul in it, regardless of what your role is. It's not just developers, it's not just researchers, it's community, it's home users, it's people who have a commitment to make this network real. So thank you guys so much for sticking with it. Like, it's paying off right now.
I'm gonna just beat a dead horse, as they say. I think we've 100% of the slots have blocks so far. That's like, this is going as well as it could.
That's amazing.
So far. Tim wanted me to make sure I said so far.
Well, so far, let me say thank you to all the client teams for all their excellent work. I mean, I'm just looking at my logs here, and everything is just amazing. It's perfect. So really well done to all the guys who put all the guys and girls who put all the software together for all this stuff. It's fantastic.
Is that Samir?
It is Samir. Hello, Danny.
Shout out to those guides. Holy shit! Like, those guides have carried the solo staking community. I use those guides religiously. Thank you.
Just interrupt. Slot 23. We have enough votes to justify this epoch.
Okay, so we've technically justified the merge transition block. So we're 6.4 minutes away, assuming continual optimal conditions, of finalizing this thing.
So
I'd like to say thank you to everyone on Discord that helps each other out on Discord. It's a big help to us client developers. So if you're one of those people on Discord that helps each other out, then thank you. You made it happen.
Thanks.
Danny, can you really just double down on what it means for this to get finalized? Why is that significant?
So in proof of stake, we have this notion of economic finality. In proof of work, technically, you can theoretically have reorgs to any depth. At economic finality in proof of stake, to have a conflicting chain that looks just as good, you have to actually burn at least 1/3 of all the stake capital, which is quite a bit of money these days. And so really what it does is it locks in these chain segments. So at that block that becomes finalized, and anything that came before it, you won't have that reversion. And so finalizing the merge transition is really kind of that symbol of like, you cannot revert. It's the stamp, it's the economic certification that we're firmly in proof of stake.
So once we are finalized, we are locking in economically with the full weight of Ethereum proof of stake.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Sick.
Sick. That's an understatement.
Sick.
Sick.
I think sick should be like the underlying word of this whole event.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I was gonna say, Vitalik, are you still here? Maybe he left. I'll have to look.
So we've missed one slot.
Vitalik is indeed
slot
still here.
we've missed so far, which is normal given, there's like a 99% participation rate. You do miss slots every once in a while. So we've missed one out of the last few epochs, which I think is very normal.
So as we reach the final few minutes, I just had a question. So Vitalik, everyone's like super, super excited right now and like really motivated and really loving Ethereum and the community. Like, do you have like a message for what people should do with that energy?
I mean, I feel like I have lots of messages. That's the thing, right? Like, I think, this is the first step in Ethereum's big journey toward being a very mature system, and there's still steps left to go. We still have to scale. We still have to fix privacy. We still have to make the thing actually secure for regular users, and all of this stuff. And I think we all need to work hard and do our part to make all of those other things happen as well. So I mean, I'm to me, the merge just like symbolizes probably the difference between sort of early stage Ethereum and the Ethereum we've always wanted early stage Ethereum to become. So let's go and build out all of the other parts of that ecosystem and turn Ethereum into being what we want it to be.
Awesome.
Just keep building.
It's worth noting.
Just keep
it looks
chugging.
like we've lost about 4% of validators, which my honest estimate was that we could lose 10 to 20% of validators. Going down to 95% participation is incredible. We have so much headroom there, and it's likely that in the next hours, those 4% of offline validators will correct their systems.
Superfish, why do you think we lose people? Because of the execution client missing?
It has been misconfigured in the past. I wouldn't be surprised. We've required JWT secret since Bellatrix, right? So that wouldn't explain it. I'm not sure.
It's hard to know. I mean, it could be some sort of intermittent failure with some sort of client pair that we just don't have good visibility on at this point, or it could be misconfiguration or all sorts of stuff. Again, this is the kind of thing where -4% is pretty damn good. Pretty near optimal. As I was saying, if anything above 90%, I think everyone's floored here. But that's it's an indication that There's a little bit of digging to do over the next couple of days, but with client diversity, especially with like kind of the node pairings across consensus layer and execution layer, you can have intermittent failures here and there and still have a resilient network. So that's what we're observing.
Am I correct that we're about 12 slots before potential finalization?
3, because we know if we're getting a high inclusion rate, we know before we get to the epoch boundary that we're going to finalize, which is, it's called an unrealized finalization, but it will in fact be realized. Thus, we can celebrate at that point.
Wait, do we have
seconds?
to? Do we have to wait another epoch, or was that the previous
No,
one?
so we've done that. We
we've
went
done
through
that.
the
Okay.
we went through the partial epoch, then justified, and then
Right, okay.
we're about to finalize.
Mhm.
How are we doing, Aditya? One more slot.
What? So in a matter of seconds, we will know that we've finalized Ethereum proof of stake.
We have.
It will finalize.
We have it. We have it confirmed.
Good job. That is so awesome.
Got it.
Come on now. Come on now. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
Mr. F was here again.
So glad
Man.
Mr. F joined us. He's the first block proposer on the Beacon chain from December 1st, 2020. So that was quite an exciting time. Did I get that date right?
What's our transition block graffiti? Anything interesting coming there?
Mr. F was here. It has to be, right?
Oh, that's the camera from the Ethereum Foundation that y'all are hearing. There's a ton of people at the Ethereum Foundation office yelling right now, and there's a camera being shown around.
Yeah, just imagine hundreds of people working on this for the past 4 years and researching for 3 years before that. This is just an incredible feat. We did a hot swap of the Ethereum network from proof of work to proof of stake, didn't lose the transaction, didn't pause the network. Home users, people using the network, will have no idea that anything has changed, but everything has changed.
We did it live.
We did it live.
We should soon know the participation rate for 876.
Now we've
which is
officially finalized.
96.03% participation rate on 876.
Happy birthday, guys. Bye bye. I have to go pick up my kid.
Bye, Lefteris.
Bye, Lefteris. Welcome. Glad you come. You came.
This is amazing, like absolutely sensational. As Danny said that we made it live. Like Ethereum has made history today with becoming billion-dollar blockchain, performing a successful network upgrade at this scale, that to a live. Congratulations to client team. Definitely, I would like to congratulate all the miners who helped us achieve the date of 15th September. I remember when it was first announced by Tim in the meeting that, okay, we are gonna have the merge in mid of September. Most of the news published it like 15th September, we are going to get merged. And see, today is 15th September. Nice timing.
So awesome. And it's worth noting, you know, sometimes there's a need to explain away or describe something that wasn't optimal. But as far as I'm aware, as far as I can tell from the stream, everything was absolutely optimal. So that's just great. Like I actually joked, you know, it happened in the middle of the night, so we can fix it before morning if we have to. But it's perfect. Everything's great. So it's time to wrap up our call. And so just to summarize in 2 seconds what has happened, we began this night a couple hours ago as a proof of stake network with thousands of people around the world mining Ethereum with their GPUs. About 5 minutes ago, well, I'm sorry, actually about 13 minutes ago, the entire network shifted to proof of stake, now relying on validators with 32 Ether deposits to guarantee the network. And one of the biggest benefits of that is the 99.98% power reduction. So that is our win. That's why we're so excited and so proud of everyone involved. So that does wrap up our call. We're going to move into some closing stuff now, and I'd like to introduce Patricio Werthalter. I hope on your screen right now you're seeing the POAP art canvas. For the past couple of hours, pixel droppers, people in the community who hold these proof of attendance protocol pixels have been participating, and that project is led by Patricio Werthalter, and he has been a tremendously positive influence in our community, supporting what we do, supporting staking, supporting decentralization. Welcome, Patricio. Tell us what's on your mind today.
There's plenty of stuff on my mind. This has been so long in the making, but let's make it this quick so we wrap up nicely. We've done this pretty beautiful canvas. I don't think we ever had so many people. Not only systems didn't crash, we created a pretty unique piece of art. In POAP, we are creating an ecosystem for the preservation of memories. And for many of us, this may be the most precious memory we will create in a long time. I don't think anyone here knows, we have developed a way for anyone who has participated in Canvas to create a time lapse of the region they were painting. So then you can have an NFT of whatever you were doing. While on the call, I was talking to my very good friend, and maybe calling him a friend is gonna get me in trouble, Roman Storm. And I was helping Roman showing the canvas. He's not much of a POAP fan, and create his Safe Tornado cache that you will get to see. And whenever we are able to mint an NFT of the process of Roman placing pixels, that's going to be an awesome piece of art. And last thing that nobody has mentioned, this has been so long in the making. We have worked so hard that it kind of feels the end of the cycle. But that not only that's not true, it is completely the opposite. This is the beginning of the cycle. Only now, Ethereum has completed what was promised on the first iteration. And now we have a strong grounds to get to where we always wanted to be. Coming up next, we are going to have Nix explain how to get the most important POAP of these days, which is having been here at this time. Nix, are you around?
I'm here. So
Thank
I
you very
know
much.
the 30,000 people on the YouTube channel are awaiting for when POAP. We're here with the POAP. So the idea behind the POAP is that we are doing a spam resistance mechanism with the POAP, which is basically you're going to send $10. Do you have the screen up? I can't see it. You're going to send $10 to stateful.eth, and this is stateful.eth is the protocol guild, and the hosts here, eStaker, Bankless, Daily White, Ethereum cat herders, chose this because it's a really appropriate recipient of these funds. So the protocol guild did not request this. We are forcing these funds on them. And the protocol guild is a collective of 119 core Ethereum contributors, and they maintain an on-chain registry of members. And this allows the community to help fund and incentivize long-term core protocol contributions. They also have a new NFT, Home of the Heart, out that you can go, and those proceeds also go to core contributors. So donate $10 to stateful.eth, and that can be on any network, and it's going to be in DAI, USD, C, RAI. Is that it? Yeah.
Wait, we can't send ETH.
Do not send ETH.
It has to be a stable coin? Okay, I'm going back.
It has to be a stable coin. We're doing DAI, RAI, USDC. And then eStaker will comb through those and decide who's eligible from everybody who donated the $10, and we'll drop a POAP.delivery link where you'll be able to claim your POAP in the next week or two. Any
Over here
questions?
Shopping for stable coins now.
Just another note, I think $10 is really fair for this POAP, only because it is a really important POAP. It is probably the most important POAP that we've had in a couple of years. It's akin to like the Beacon Chain launch POAP, and we will see some farming. And so we want to make this a thing that isn't heavily farmed.
Yeah, we have no desire to extract from the community. In fact, it is something that we struggle with every day. We want POAP to be Sybil resistant, but also spam resistant. And we don't have true Sybil resistance yet. We cannot guarantee you are one person claiming a POAP. And so our intermediate step is to be spam resistant. And that way, one person has difficulty claiming thousands of POAPs. Rather, we require what I would say a fair donation to an ecosystem aligned project in order to receive that POAP. And I'm very happy with the system. Thank you, Patricio, for I found that POAP is an emotionally engaging project for Ethereum, one of the first emotionally engaging projects. So I love it. The slide does. Okay, hold on. We can or cannot use ETH for this stateful.eth donation. I'm seeing both.
Go by the slide.
Okay, that's fine. Sorry. I will get stable coins. Nix, thank you so much for describing the POAP acquisition process. And how long do people have to make that claim?
24 hours.
24 hours. Perfect. All right. Sounds like we're moving to the Q&A section. And so I want to, for everyone who has come, thank you so much. We dearly appreciate your attendance today. We're going to move to a Q&A section for essentially for journalists or for people who want to better interpret the merge, because the most important thing is that we get the story right. We're very proud of what's going on with Ethereum, and it's so important to us that the story is correct. And we hope that's important to everyone here as well. So we have a Slido, and I think that Pooja, Hudson, and Nix are going to review questions. And we know that developers and contributors have a lot going on, but we hope that you'll stay and provide some answers for those. I know I see a couple people who I trust so well with these answers. So I'll let you guys take it over.
And the Slido is in the eStaker Discord if you want to go put in questions. So question, let's go to the most upvoted question first. Which do you see having a higher impact on stake distribution after the merge? Liquid staking with distributed validators like Rocket Pool, or home staking? I'm going to give that one to Fizz.
Okay, I tuned out just for a minute, and I tuned in when I began to hear that question was something I'm very interested in. Will you repeat it for me one more time, please?
Yes. Which do you see having a higher impact on stake distribution after the merge? Liquid staking with distributed validators like Rocket Pool, or home staking?
Okay, so home staking is the gold standard of staking. The more decentralized, the more stakers we can get in homes, the more decentralized and robust we are as a network. The second part of that question was about distributed pools like Rocket Pool. Rocket Pool actually acts as a decentralized pool because they have over 1,400 node operators. And so it's a permissionless system, and anyone who wants to run a Rocket Pool node can run the same as if they were running a solo node. Now, the flip side of that are distributed liquid staking derivative products. Those are far less desirable for the protocol because they tend to centralize a lot of ETH in a very narrowly controlled environment. And so I think the best thing for the protocol is to avoid distributed or concentrated liquid staking derivatives and rather focus on liquid staking derivatives that continue decentralizing the network rather than putting coins in one place. We don't need a network where all of the coins are in one place or in the hands of a few people. That is, that's false decentralization. And that would essentially be us being dishonest with ourselves about the health of our network. Sorry, I get that is my passionate topic. So thanks for letting me answer that.
Hey, go over the POAP address again, just for the listeners.
The POAP address is stateful.eth, STATEFUL.eth. If you have a wallet that supports ENS, you can just go in and type stateful.eth. If it doesn't recognize that, you can go to etherscan.io and type in stateful.eth, and it'll give you the address. I'm going to tell you right now, it ends in 935F. So that's where you should send the $10.
So yeah, Nix, I can take the next question on here and direct it towards someone. So once the merge is live, this is from Slido again. Once the merge is live, should we expect consensus clients like Teku and Prism to sort of be solidified and no longer needing updates? And I'll probably repeat the question one more time because it's a longer one. Let's go ahead. Ben, could you answer this one potentially?
Future updates, sure. We're always evolving. There's a lot to do. The chain is always growing, so we have to optimize. For one thing, always keeping on top of performance and making things better. And of course, the Ethereum roadmap never stops. We have proto-dank sharding coming, we have withdrawals coming, we have a huge slew of things we want to develop and deliver over the next few years. So we might take a little break for a few weeks, but for sure the clients will keep evolving.
Oh, is proto-dank sharding something that a CL client is going to have a lot of changes to it to implement? I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all of the traffic now happens on the consensus layer. So all of the data is shared and gossiped on that layer now. So yeah, we absolutely have to include that.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think just maybe more generally in terms of future Ethereum updates, proto-dank sharding is definitely consensus layer heavy. Full dank sharding is like it is also in a consensus layer, but it's also like very separate from the rest of the work. Then the Verge is entirely execution layer. Any like account abstraction, EVM, object format, blah 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 stuff is all execution layer. PPS is probably some weird mix of the two. Single slot finality is entirely consensus layer. So I think realistically, it is going to be like some 50-50 between the two.
Awesome. Thank you, Ben, and thank you, Vitalik. Pooja, do you have a question up and someone that you'd like them to answer?
I see a question here in the Slido. It's like, what is a reasonable expectation for success around liquid staking pools and decentralization? What practical goals should we aim for heading into 2023? I don't know, maybe someone from ETHStaker or any Randa?
Yeah, this is another one that's kind of going over liquid staking and what we should be looking for and kind of an evolution of that. Is that right?
Right.
Let's see who's good. Anyone from ETHStaker want to jump on for that, or otherwise I'll throw it to Superfizz.
I mean, it is my obsession. Liquid staking tokens are fantastic. They are a way for more people to get involved with the network. But what we need to focus on is that these liquid staking tokens are being good stewards of the network, that they're not just putting all of the coins in one pot and further centralizing. So what we need are more staking protocols that operate in a permissionless way to allow node operators to come online and further decentralize the stake. Right now, there is one provider that meets the standard. I really look forward to seeing 5 or 6 of these providers, because we need several different versions of this liquidity token to continue decentralization. What a lot of people will say is, if you have one powerful liquidity token, then you can do so much more in DeFi with it. But in fact, what you can do with that is centralize the network and bring tail risk to the network and risk all of our success. So in order for us to be really successful, we need multiple liquid staking protocols that are trustless, decentralized, and open source. We need to steer away from liquid staking derivatives who are focused on becoming as large as they can be because of the concept that that's more powerful in DeFi. The goal of staking is not to promote DeFi. The goal of staking is to promote the security and the health of the Ethereum network. You got to keep those two goals separate in your mind.
So one question that we did see that I can quickly answer is, if we have some ETH1 in hardware wallets like Ledger, do we need to do any type of updates? Will there still be ETH1 and ETH2 wallets? You don't need to do anything to update ETH. ETH is ETH. You don't have to do anything. The next question that we have like 4 different versions of is, what else is on the horizon for Ethereum that is as big as the merge? What are we looking forward to next?
Yeah, who wants to answer that one? I mean, Vitalik, if you're still on here, you did that talk recently that was really good on it.
Yeah, sure. So I think just to go through the rest of the items on the protocol side, the buckets that I've split things between are the surge, the verge, the purge, and the splurge. Right, so the surge basically is sharding, right? The massive increase in the de facto scalability of the network that will come with the combination of the Ethereum network being able to process much more data because of proto-dake sharding and then full dake sharding, and rollups being able to take advantage of that data space to provide a very high level of scalability for layer 2 rollup transactions. So that's the surge. But by the way, remember the surge, the verge, and the purge and the splurge, they're not stages, right? These are all things that are happening in parallel. So then the verge is the switch to Verkle trees, which will enable stateless clients. So it will be possible to be a validating node with 0 or close to 0 hard drive usage. Well, realistically, I think it'll be a bit more 0, but significantly less than today. And it will enable things like validating individual blocks in whatever order you want, in whatever order you get them, and really nice things like that. So that's a lot of benefits from the verge. It will also just make it much easier to be a validator client, especially if you combine it with proposer builder separation stuff. Then the purge is basically making the network more efficient by removing the need for the entire Ethereum network to store like all of the different parts of the history, and instead like history that's older than a certain amount of time will be shifted off to kind of specialized either sub protocols or sister protocols. So this will include like transaction history older than a year, receipts older than a year, even just responsibility for being able to interpret Ethereum blocks that have older protocol versions, right? So that are like more than 1 or 2 hard forks old, so that new Ethereum clients don't have to support everything from Genesis and they can be simpler. And then the splurge is like the big jumble of everything else. So like to me, the big items in there are EVM improvements. There's the EVM object format stuff. There's EVM 384 stuff. There is account abstraction and the whole roadmap from there. There is proposer builder separation, and then there's a big long kind of laundry list of smaller things. And then I guess you can put this into the merge bucket, even though it's technically not part of the merge, but it's like a longer term proof of stake. And that's a single slot finality. That's something that we've really increased our priority of recently, just because we've been realizing the necessity for like further ongoing improvements to the proof of stake mechanism. So that will make blocks finalized more quickly. It'll make a bunch of things hopefully simpler in the protocol and easier to verify that everything is secure. So yeah, just a whole bunch of different protocol layer improvements happening. And then at the same time, I think the on the application layer, you know, with rollups, we're going to solve scalability. I think we're also going to see a whole bunch of privacy applications start coming over the next couple of years. And you know, hopefully at the same time, we're going to see usability improve. So just all of the different parts of the ecosystem are going to, you know, become more mature in a lot of ways. And you know, I think it's going to be great.
So awesome. I think it's time for us to appreciate everyone for sharing their time with us tonight. Pooja, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to have this wrap up with one last interesting story about how it all began. Like, if I may invite Mikhail to share the story of Hybrid Casper FFG project and how this all merge started. I think it would be a good point to wrap up the entire story of merge for today's call.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Pooja. Can you hear me, by the way?
Yes, I can hear you.
Great. Yeah, my name is Mikhail. I'm with Consensus R&D, and like 2.5 years ago, I have started to work on the merge project. It was like in the beginning of 2020 when I joined Consensus. But that time, I like deliberately choose this project to work on. Yeah, it's just great to, you know, to look retrospectively to all these events. One fun fact is that 2 years before I have started to work on the merge, I have been involved almost accidentally in the hybrid Casper FFG project. We did a prototype of this approach to have a finality gadget on top of the proof of work network. This is like the first time where like I became familiar with the Casper FFG, which is now like the main, the BFT consensus mechanism that is used by Beacon Chain. And this time it was like in early 2018, and by that time it was like the first time I met Daniel Ryan, so and made this connection. Yeah, I just wanted to share this excitement and yeah, and just taking a moment to say thanks to everyone, to the community of developers, users, and to the entire Ethereum ecosystem for giving me a chance to make the history of a blockchain technology. And congratulations on the ideal. I would say it was just ideal transition. I didn't expect it would be so ideal. Yeah, congrats everyone for this great job.
It went better than expected. I was prepared. I was honestly prepared for an hour before finality. So that we got it right off the bat. What a great success.
Right, absolutely. And that I think is a wonderful story where we can probably wrap up. Congratulations to all the client development team, infrastructure provider, and network users, and also the community member. Welcome to the merged world of Ethereum blockchain. And yeah, that's all from our end.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks all.
Bye. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Great merge.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations. See you next week.
Yeah.
Tomorrow on All
Thanks,
for Dev
everyone.
call.
Oh, is there an All for Devs call tomorrow?